Hey everybody, welcome to the Pomerium webinar. Today we are talking about agentic access for MCP in the enterprise environment. Before we get started, just gonna introduce ourselves. My name is Nick Taylor. I'm a developer advocate over at Pomerium, and I'm also joined by my coworker, Denis Mishin. Denis, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, I'm Denis. I am working on core Pomerium. I'm on the engineering team, and yeah,
Cool. Awesome. So today we're going to be walking through just how we've been securing agentic access with zero trust security. Let's just get started.
sure. So a few words about Pomerium and how it blends into the MCP ecosystem. So Pomerium is a mature reverse proxy with built-in authentication and authorization, which makes us different from regular proxies that are open by default. We are closed by default. You have to integrate with your identity provider and set up authorization rules in order for requests to go through. We've been historically focusing on protecting internal applications and APIs. We're open source. Check out Pomerium/Pomerium. We're pretty popular, have over 1 billion Docker pools and been around for past 7 years, I guess. Um, yeah. So why Pomerium has a role in this MCP ecosystem is because first we will front the traffic to your internal MCP servers. Um, so you don't normally expose application directly to the internet. So Pomerium is your gateway that will authenticate and authorize each and every request to your MCP server. Then we also help you to develop MCP servers because we take this authentication and authorization on us, including the OAuth 2.1 flow that is required by the MCP protocol, meaning you can seamlessly plug us into tools like Claude, ChatGPT, and other existing MCP clients. And we will also show you how we can help building custom MCP clients, such as like agentic applications that are user facing. So first use case is if you need to connect to something like Claude. You would create a route in Pomerium and add it to Claude, and then when you will try to connect, Claude will redirect you to Pomerium authentication, where you will sign in with your identity provider, and you will be able to see the new MCP server connected in Claude, and the tools are exposed, and you can ask Claude some questions about your database because this in this example we connected a fictitious business intelligence database to Claude, and yeah, and then you can enjoy everything that Claude knows how to do. It will figure out what is the structure of your database, will build your will build your queries, and even build you a little nice dashboard with some charts. Yeah. So
Cool. Just a quick question, Dennis. For folks that might not be familiar with what MCP is, the Model Context Protocol, would you mind just giving just a quick explanation? I'll provide some links as well.
sure. So MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, and it's a protocol that has been pioneered by Anthropic, the developers of Claude, as a standard way to connect large language models to your internal systems. So it defines a few things. It defines the tools, which are much like API calls. It supports resources when you want to reference to things like internal documents. And it supports prompts and sampling, which is a way for server to ask the UI client to pose and prompt something from the user. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So we currently support the latest and greatest revision, which is why we are able to act as a OAuth 2.1 compliant server when interacting with the MCP clients such as Claude. That makes your MCP server that is like representing connection to the database very simple because you don't need to think about how do I secure access or maybe only limit it to certain groups or users within our organization because this is entirely handled by Pomerium and current Pomerium policy language. Similarly, if your MCP server needs to access something external, such as GitHub, Salesforce, Notion, and anything else that is OAuth 2 compliant, but you need a user token for that, you can similarly simplify your MCP server implementation by offloading this OAuth 2 flow and token storage and refresh to Pomerium by specifying the additional parameters in the Pomerium route. And Pomerium will do everything on your behalf.
Okay, cool. So a quick question about that. So just to make it crystal clear, people can implement their MCP servers, but they do not have to implement OAuth within their MCP server because we handle that explicitly.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Your MCP server will just always be presented with latest and greatest uh, authorization token for the upstream service that it requires, and you can just directly use it with your upstream API, such as call GitHub or call Salesforce or Notion.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. We are also extending Pomerium policy language so that it will support additional criteria. Like if you connected a third-party MCP server, you would be able to restrict the tools that are available to your users. So that, for example, you only want to expose them to read-only tools. Um, as a quick start, please do check out the main repo Pomerium/Pomerium and use the main branch for now. And this repo, the MCP app demo, contains the Docker Compose example, which you may use in order to do a quick start of using Pomerium with external MCP clients such as Claude. Next, we will talk about how Pomerium helps with developing a custom application. So we will start with a little example of uh, an application that does something similar to what we saw previously with Claude, meaning um, you want to query this fixtures MCP server, and you want large language model to perform these queries, and it will do this with OpenAI API because it's now compatible with MCP calling. So we will discuss what happens in detail on the next slide, but we got into our custom application that is behind Pomerium. We selected the MCP server that does the provides access to the database, and you were able to send a query to OpenAI MCP enabled API in order for it to build you answer the business analytics question. So now we will also see how you can similarly access MCP servers that require upstream OAuth, such as GitHub. And it shows you here that your user session needs to be hydrated with the OAuth token from GitHub. Now you can get the do the request similarly, and OpenAI will be able to call to the up to the MCP server that does the API to GitHub.
Okay, cool. And
And
just to reiterate there, Pomerium is managing all those tokens for the upstream services. So from a security standpoint, the MCP client, like the demo you were showing, or Claude, all it would ever receive for that particular MCP server would be the short-lived token that Pomerium provides, correct?
correct. Yeah, this
Yeah.
diagram shows what happens when your user tries to access your application backend. Uh, Pomerium will provide you with the internal token that is TE, which is only useful in the context of this particular Pomerium session. You will be able to ask your LLM API to call your MCP server and provide it with this same bearer token. And it will call through Pomerium, and Pomerium will proxy the request to your internal MCP server, and it will exchange the API token into internal token that this particular MCP server needs, such as like GitHub token.
Okay. Perfect.
Another thing that you could notice on this application is that it knows that I'm Denis. So the way it works is that Pomerium always provides you with the X Pomerium assertion header in the request. And this is a JWT that gives you the context of the user that is making the call. And we provide a standard middleware to consume it, but it's just a standard JWT. And this JWT will tell you the user ID and the username and their email so that you can use it in your application. And it's available for both front end and the back end. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is currently
cool.
it for the MCP support.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, Dennis. We don't have any questions at the moment, but I have dropped some resources for people to check out, including the MCP app demo. Um, I guess some things to call out that you mentioned in there was uh, some nice things that I definitely like that we're only exposing the short-lived token to the MCP clients, just from a security standpoint. Uh, the other thing, which I know this is something you added recently, but the extending the Pomerium policy language to allow that into the types of tools. As far as I know, that's not something other MCP servers do right now, or if they do, it's
Well,
maybe kind of like bespoke.
currently it's the responsibility of the MCP server developer, and we
Yeah.
try to pull everything that is related to security into Pomerium because Pomerium has this proven security core that does all the authorization logic.
Okay. Yeah. And the nice thing about that too is this is coming from the policy engine within Pomerium. So this is like uniform security posture that you have throughout your organization, which is nice.
Yep.
And the other thing, I know we were talking about securing agentic access today, but as you mentioned at the beginning, we're a reverse proxy, essentially an app gateway. So we're not specifically an AI company. We're just really good at securing things. So we fit really well with MCPs because we're at layer 7 of the network stack, I believe. And aside from that, if you already start securing stuff for your MCP servers, just know that I'm saying the obvious maybe, but you have an instance of Pomerium running so you can secure other internal apps. It doesn't have to be just agentic access.
That's right. Yeah,
Cool.
we MCP is just one of our vertical integrations. We have vertical integrations for Kubernetes, SSH, and database access. Um, so yeah, do check us out for other things as well.
Yeah, awesome. I'll just do another quick check if to see if there's any questions. I don't think we have any at the moment, but just wanted to say thanks everybody for attending today. The recording will be up on our YouTube in the near future, and expect us to have more of these webinars in the very near future. We're looking for a cadence of either one or once a week or once every 2 weeks. So just if you aren't already following us, give us a follow us on all the socials or LinkedIn. And thanks, Dennis, for joining to me today. And everybody else, we'll see you in the next one.
Fine.